Today she's a nice day. Yesterday she wasn't so nice. Day before that she wasn't so nice. The past week and so, Mother Nature has gone on a touch of a bender.
I didn't even say one thing and then she asked me the whole thing and I didn't even do a what.
That crazy, crazy lady, who we adore, has given us 19 degrees one day, -5, and blizzards the next day. Weather warnings coming out the wazoo. We had torrential downpours and winds, of which Dorothy would look for Toto in. I don't mean the band. I mean the dog. Well, Mother Nature, two can play that game. I hope that looked cool, guys, because I got some beer on the screen. Hey, why does your GoPro smell like beer, Jay? Yeah. Hey, garlic's coming up. Let's have a look. I know a lot of you have openly mocked me with my wife in tandem for talking about the weather. But here's the projects that we've got going on in 2024. 2024. Nope. 2024. 2024. Here's the projects for 2024. That was hard to do. We've got to get our gardens up and going. Thinking about putting our potting shed greenhouse right over there. Big Papa's got to come out of the garage where he has lived for the winter. I got to get that motor fixed up and then we're on the water. We're on the water. We're going to do a duck blind and the John boat. Where Big Papa's going to be parked back in the woodlot, I'm going to build a timber structure, kind of a boat house. Not really, I don't know what to call it. It will be a roof. We're gonna do the canoe rack down in the woods. We're going to build the sugar shack, lots of chainsawing, possibly a screen porch. What's the common thing? Well, I'm outside. So I'm gonna talk about the weather a little bit, eh? Because it affects me. Maybe you're like my family. My family says, oh, I sure would love some barbecue today.
Can we have some barbecue today?
And it doesn't matter if it's 38 degrees and they're all down in the basement, you know, with fans on, watching TV in the cool. Or it's perhaps -30 and they're all tucked in front of the wood stove, blankets upon them, reading books, playing their video games. And I'm outside, a couple of toques on, barbecuing. This is how you barbecue.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
Okay, maybe it's raining, maybe it's hailing, maybe the wind is blowing so much that my Coleman lantern is sideways. Maybe there's Quebec wildfires and I'm out there going Weather doesn't affect you if you're not outside, does it? Well, this son of a bitch is outside! So, the weather affects me. So this is my garlic. This is Mennonite garlic, and I planted it last year. And we had been growing lettuce, as you may remember here, and it failed. It failed 2 years in a row. This year it was looking good, and then it just bolted. Boom! Usain style. We got 24 bulbs of Mennonite garlic, which will probably, I'll harvest these in the fall, probably get me through the fall. We go through a lot of garlic at this place. But it's coming up nice. And it's very exciting to see because, like, we just had the sap moon not too long ago. The full moon was the sap moon, the worm moon. So, named after a variety of things. The sap moon, because it was, you know, historically to the indigenous people, the indication of sap flowing. Or called the worm moon, because the worms would do their little wormy things, and the robins would go, hey, friggin' worms! Over there is where I want to put the potting shed. And that's actually kind of an interesting story, if I may relay it to you just momentarily. We've grown our garlic from bulb, and we'll be planting our corn from seed and our potatoes. This is the potato corn garden over here, right? And last year I did like half potato, half corn, and I wanted to do the full thing corn and make another potato garden out front or something. I'm not sure if I want to do that because I aesthetically like the balance and layout of this garden as it is. And with the potting shed, I'm going to let the pumpkins go wild beside it. So let those pumpkins do their pumpkin patching. Patchy pumpkins, man. Patch the pumpkins, pumpkin patch. Possibly over here beside the garage. Maybe I'll clear that out and put a garden. Haven't thought about it. Haven't thought about it too much, but am considering. We had planned originally to do the entire garden from seed this year. And we'd watched a couple of high-level videos, and we've been collecting egg cartons and toilet paper rolls all over the winter. We'd sort of high-level watched the stuff, and the gardens that we have planted from seed have always been outdoor plantings, but obviously planting your vegetable garden from seed is an indoor affair. Well, it begins indoor. You gardeners, you know this. I'm not a gardener. But the more I researched it now that it was time, the more I realized, whoops, I'm already late on a couple of things. And two, I thought just the natural light, because we have some great angles here with the sunlight. I thought the natural light would be enough to get the seeds a-going. And it turns out, no, bro, to really ensure success, they tell you, those people who know, they say you want some light. Now, I've done quite a bit of research and found out the type of light is nominal, from what I've heard. Yes, you can go and buy your hydroponics grow-op light, knock yourself out, or just an LED light. Seems to be better than fluorescent because of its lifespan, and it doesn't degrade in the energy output as it gets older. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure this out. But alls I knows is Canadian Tire puts the shop lights on sale for like 25 bucks. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait for those to go on sale. And then we started figuring out, like we looked at everything we were growing, tomatoes, strawberries seem to be, I switched these over last fall, if you do recall. Rhymer. They seem to be doing okay. Anywho, as I'm going through reading all about this, I start to realize I have possibly bitten off a lot more than I'm willing to chew at this moment in time. We don't really have a dedicated spot in the house to let this happen for as long as it's going to need to happen. And the only spot that we could kind of do it, I didn't realize how much it takes to harden. Is it that the word, harden? When you harden your veggies? You get them outside, take them out for an hour, and then take them out the next day for an hour and 10, and then, ooh, it's camp night, and then you have a sleepover overnight. Anyway, I think it was something like 19 days, so it would be just such a friggin' nightmare of trekking things through the lodge to go outside, and we started to talk to each other. And one thing we've gotten actually quite good at, my wife and I, my beautiful lady and I, have gotten quite good at the fact of saying to each other, hey, you know what? This is going to be another one of those. Let's do better. We've pumped the brakes on it. We're going to transplant this year with our garden, seed the hardy stuff that we can, like the corn, potatoes, and then transplant the rest. The garden shed, the potting shed, greenhouse shed, we're fixed at that light. Down below there'll be a link to the video where I talked about it last year. It was about this time last year where I was trying to figure out, do we do that or do we do Big Papa? And we did Big Papa anyway, the boat. This year we're going to do it, and we will plan in advance. We'll figure out how many trays we need, how many racks we need, add maybe 15% for any future grand ideas we get, and we'll build that potting shed to scale. We'll lay it out to scale. We'll have everything in there so we can do it from seed next year. And we've been reading that the temperatures aren't the concern as much as the light's the concern. So we'll do some sort of a solar panel to keep those LEDs on. in the shed here, because those go on sale at Canadian Tire too. Canadian Tire, eh? Everything goes on sale at Canadian Tire. Because everybody knows, you don't buy anything full price at Canadian Tire. I know it's better for you if the sun's coming at me, but geez, I was hurting my eyeballs. We had, in that week of snow one day, rain one day, blowing temperatures the next day, back to beautiful, then awful, doesn't it also, our hydro goes out. And I had done all that work to the generator, change the oil filter, change the oil, change the battery, change the air filter. I had done sort of the whole once over, but I was getting an error code of low oil pressure. I'd cancel it out and I was checking the oil pressure switch, and I don't know anything about anything, so it looked okay to me. And well, we were without our generator for 12 hours, which is not a big deal. You know, you just have books and that's fine. But we got a generator, so we don't have to be without power. And you know, where we are, we go without power quite often. So I switched out that oil pressure switch. I talked to somebody and they had told me like $350 to change this thing, eh? And I was like, oh yeah. And then I talked to a small engine place and was talking about it and said, how much for just the switch? I think it came in $90 tax in. So did it myself, and wow, what an easy friggin' thing to do. So with the oil pressure switch, really all you've got is a couple of leads on it. I believe it was a 9/16 wrench. Take it down, I'd wrap some plumber's tape on it. Take the old one out, put the new one on, square it up, slap the leads back on, and fire that puppy up. I'm not really sure where $260 needed to be added to the 90 with tax in oil pressure switch. And I know that guy made his 15% on it, so it's crazy, eh? Crazy when you don't know how to do something, how they come for you. They come for you. Oh, you know what we did do? I did do is I gave up. I gave up on doing the maple syrup. We had 2 buckets filled with sap, and then we had a couple of cold nights. The days were nice, but they weren't perfect, and the sap just wasn't really running. And I went out and checked it every day for a week, and then it went up to like 22 degrees. And the sap that I had collected was starting to froth. So I dumped it, and I went out and took the buckets down, took all the taps out of the trees, and we're in the midst of now cleaning out all that stuff. But unfortunately, the audio crapped out on me that day, so there's nothing more I can do but a little musical montage of my adventure. Kind of sad, because like I really like doing the maple syruping, but I'm looking forward to building the sugar shack, and I think that's going to be more of a midsummer, late summer, early fall kind of thing. I want to keep the trails going that we've been building. I'm going to keep building those and harvesting the lumber for the sugar shack. I'll bring it into the woodlot and get it drying up to a degree. Like, I'm not building a home, and I'm just sort of finalizing the plans on that, which I'll share with you guys. Our next project is going to be kind of a... Miss Lady and I have noticed that over the years, one of the things that the thing that fails about a project and then the thing that ultimately wins is a project being a good idea, like, let's build a deck. neat. Where that fails is if you don't know how you're going to use that deck, right? So we've become smart over the years of figuring out how we're going to use something before we put the time and energy and resources into building it. Case in point, the potting shed. We could have just put something up last year, but now we're going to physically know the dimensions. We know everything we want to plant at any given time. We're going to figure out how many trays we need for that, and then we'll add it, as I said, an extra 10 or 15% in terms of space. So we can live in the space that we create. One of the things that's been killing me is my spice cupboard. I cook most of the meals here, and I absolutely adore cooking. And I can't believe it. I was brought up by an Irish immigrant who sometimes used black pepper. I didn't know what cumin was until I was well into my 30s. We have kind of this lazy Susan thing that we've been using as a spice cupboard, and we sort of ran out of space there, so then I took one of our drawers, and that's become a spice cupboard, and things are constantly falling and getting stuck, and it's not like, well, hey, throw stuff out, because we use all of it. I don't use, cinnamon every day, but I'm not gonna not have cinnamon. We've got this cupboard next to our kitchen, this cupboard next to our fridge, that I swear if you put your arm into it, you might be able to touch the back. And it is literally where things go to die. You pull out Triscuit boxes from there that expired in 1999. And we didn't even live here in 1999. So I think it might also be a portal to another dimension, possibly. We're going to take over the unused time portal pantry. That'll be our video on Friday. So we had a day during last week where it was absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous, man.
I looked at the old Weather Network app. I don't know why I do that. Because I said, oh, weather's looking awesome. And I went to the butcher's and I picked up some skirt steak. And I said, tomorrow we're going to barbecue Carne Asada. I'm going to get the charcoal up. We're going to have ourselves a grand old time. I woke up that morning all excited to start, brewed the coffee, and got on to my Carne Asada-ing, I believe the kids say. And of course, it was, 4 degrees and pouring. So... making some Carne Asada and a bit of cilantro lime rice. We're gonna start with cilantro, coriander, the soapy stuff that most people don't seem to like, but we love it. Love it, love it. Now, this is gonna be for the marinade. So, I don't really care about stems. I believe the Dogfather would say, no stems.
No seeds, no stems, no sticks.
Something of that nature.
Oh, wait.
Oh, trippy. No, this is just cilantro, and I'm using a ton of it. Not quite a ton, but a lot. Put it all in there, and it smells fantastic. And a bulb of garlic. I don't need the full bulb, or I could have done a different method, but I'll use quite a few. I think, honestly, if a recipe says, use 6, I'll use 8. If it says use 8, I'll use 40. 40, I'll use 300. 300, 500. You can't ever really have enough garlic, but what I don't like is jarlic. I only like fresh garlic. That's just me. I'm a garlicky cat that way. Keep the vampires at bay. Yo! Navel orange alert. Look at the size of this monster. I've had pumpkins at Halloween that aren't this big. And this guy was giving me a little bit of trouble with the juices. I was making a right mess. Trying to get, and I think my thing here is a little small. So now I'm squeezing everything and, try and get it in the cup, bud. But that's cool. We just mash it beyond belief. Make a giant mess. You can always clean up. And we're doing shots. Everybody! Shots of limes.
Is it tequila time?
No, it's not. We're making carne asada. So I gotta marinate this bad boy. And Miss Lady loves limes, lemons. She doesn't love grapefruit, I don't believe. But, and oranges, she likes them. So I'm using like 4, 5, 5 or so tablespoons of lime juice. Can't have too many. And then we got the jalapeno.
Jalapeno. That's how you pronounce it.
I know how to pronounce it. I ordered fucking jalapeno.
And I'm gonna roughly stem it because I really don't care. Again, it's a marinade, and also, like, the family needs to just get used to a bit of heat because, come on, people. There's flavor in that heat. And we'll chop it up. Chop it up. A little bit of cumin. Knock, knock. Cumin. And some low sodium soy sauce. Good thing I had another jar of my low sodium soy sauce. It's not that much lower in sodium, but I guess when you're using a half cup, it all helps. And then we've got some olive oil. Now we're going to mix it all together and make ourselves up a marinade beyond belief. Beyond the kind of marinade that you'd ever think. Look at this. Oil and juice and soy sauce and more juice. And it turns into an experiment. There's the garlic. Hello, garlic. Have a bath with your jalapeno friends. Little cumin. A little bit of fresh ground black pep. A little bit of kosher salt. And here comes our cilantro. Got to get it all because there's a lot. And we'll give that a little bit of a stir. The neat thing here is this isn't just the marinade. I mean, it's a big part of the marinade, but it's also going to be the topping on top when you're done. So I'm setting a little bit of a side here. I don't know if that would be like a mojo or like a, I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, you can live in there until I need you. This guy, however, we're going to fill him up with a bag so we can marinate our steak. And what are we using? Well, we're using ourselves some absolutely gorgeous skirt steak. I like a skirt steak over a flank steak for this kind of thing. These are giant. It's about, I don't know, 2.5 pounds. So I'm going to cut them because I got to put it in my marinade. And that's okay. And we'll wiggle it all up. I won't do the whole thing in real time because it takes about 5 minutes. But you wiggle it all up. That bad boy's going in the fridge. And we wait. Oh yeah, the eclipse that we barely saw. That's okay. That's okay, everybody. The eclipse, it came. We did see a sliver. Wash your rice. Jasmine rice. Rice is nice. I don't always wash my rice, but for certain dishes, I'll wash the heck out of my rice. And for this cilantro lime rice thingy, I'ma wash it. I'ma wash it. I'ma drain it. I'ma soak it. I'ma let it sit. I'm gonna rinse and repeat because I want that water to run as clear as the glacier springs that do not live anywhere near me. Now we're gonna zest up ourselves some limes. And I'm trying a couple of techniques here on how to zest. Need about a teaspoon and change. Hey kids, zest before you cut your limes up to juice them. A little bit of garlic. Chippity chop that up. That's a technique. You know, you've heard of julienne. Chippity chop is another technique. And the kids love that. And we're gonna keep rinsing our rice. Don't forget, we have to rinse it more. And then our green onions, our scallions. This time, we're gonna get some cilantro, but I really wanna make sure I'm just dealing with the leaves here because you'll be eating a lot more of this than you will with that marinade. And then we'll chop it up as fine as we can. Look at that knife technique there. That's how I keep all my fingers. All right, stove on, pot on, in goes the water, in goes the oil, in goes the rice. Isn't that nice? Give it a little bit of stir. Stir time. And yeah. We wait for it to boil. That's for sure. In the meantime, take this stuff out of the fridge and I fired up the grill. Rice is bubbling and boiling now. So we're gonna move it onto the simmer element. Firing that one up, move the pan over, and we'll let it just simmer away for about 8 minutes. And then fluff it with a fork And we're gonna add in our garlic, and we're gonna add in our onions and our lemon zest. Or excuse me, our lime zest. What am I thinking? We're gonna let that sit. And while I'm letting that sit to cool down a bit, we're gonna pat off the skirt steak that has been marinating for the better part of the day. And we're gonna salt and pepper. We're gonna season it up. And it's pretty cool stuff. We're gonna flip it, we're gonna repeat it, which I guess sounds like Missy Elliott lyrics to me. I'm not gonna try and sing them because I can't really think of them, but that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna pat off the majority of the liquid, and then we're gonna salt and pepper them and let them sit for a little bit. Add our lime juice, our cilantro and our salt and our hot pepper flakes into our rice. Throw the lid on that and have a little taste for myself. Oh, it's delicious. And then we'll go outside. And it was raining. It was raining because Mother Nature, well, she's a liar. She told me that, you know, because yesterday it was 16 degrees and gorgeous. I'm like, I'm going to barbecue carne asada tomorrow. And I do a 3-minute adjust. Oh yeah, my light stopped working on me. I do a 3-minute and then I adjust, you know, to get the funny little grill lines on it, just to kind of move it off the grill so it doesn't get too burnt in one spot. So 3 minutes, adjust it, 3 minutes, flip it, 3 minutes, adjust it, 3 minutes, take it off. That's how I get medium rare steaks, and it works pretty well all the time. I'm out in the rain and I'm having a barbecue. What are you gonna do? It's still a lovely night, even if Mother Nature needs some critical help. That's right. So now we'll flip them. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? Oh my God. There's still some more of that in the fridge. I am getting hungry. We'll adjust again. And it continues to rain on me. Then we'll take them off. And this is the hardest part because this smells so friggin' good right now. But what you want to do is bring that in the house, a little bit of tin foil on it, and let it wait. We let it rest anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And then we'll pull it off and we'll start slicing up the meat. Taste test. Approved. And so I cut it up nice and thinnish. And look at that. And we, hello, hi Miss Lady. Oh, Miss Lady is stealing from us. She's stealing our food. But that's okay, because she's on tortilla duty. Ba-boom! Kapow! And now, we've got all this delicious steak. The most delicious carne asada. Look at this. Oh my God. If you had smell-o-vision, you'd be freaking out. Some fresh tortillas, a little bit of our mojo, and some feta cheese, because I cannot find cojita. There's our cilantro lime rice. Nice iced cold beer. Oh my God, it's a feast. Holy crap, are they delicious, though. Probably one of my favorite ways to eat steak now. And the youngest echoed that as well. So, anywho, we'll see you in a couple of days. I'm going to try and get back onto our regular scheduled programming of Friday videos. And for sure, we're going to have our secret portal space-saving kitchen rethink. It might not sound like a captivating 20 minutes to a half an hour of your time, but the amount of swearing and kneeling down on the floors, searching cabinets because I swear I had this and where is it, only to find it knocked over at the back, it's going to save so much of that. Okay, that's it. Peace out like a trout. I'll catch you cats in a couple of days. Or today. Or I've already caught you, because I don't know when you're watching this.